Moonsick by Tom O'Donnell. Narrated by Ellie Gossage. For my mom, who I miss every day. Some of the thematic material in Moonsick contains depictions of body horror, gore, and violence. 1. As the plague ends, our narrator concludes his journal with a poem. A dreadful plague in London was, in the year 65, which swept 100,000 souls away, yet I alive. Mr. Hirsch looked up from his copy of Daniel Defoe's A Journal of the Plague Year and surveyed the young faces staring back at him. It was the spring of their senior year, the last period of the day. They were bored, checked out. Their eyes were deader than a 17th century London plague victim. These kids had already applied to college, and to be quite honest, even those who didn't attend would be absolutely fine. Green Valley was just that kind of school. Median family income was almost $200,000. With or without AP English, they would all be set. Which is perhaps why Mr. Hirsch still felt like he ought to try to teach them something. "So, what do we think he's getting at?" asked Mr. Hirsch. No hands went up. Of course, no hands went up. Mr. Hirsch closed his eyes and took a deep breath. He imagined fly fishing on the Sauk River. Then he picked someone. Heidi. Heidi Mills blinked, a little startled. Heidi was a smart, pretty, popular girl who had unfortunately been secretly scrolling on her phone under her desk. She cursed herself. This was the type of thing she never did. Heidi always paid attention in class, no matter how insanely boring it was. Said Heidi. Repeated Mr. Hirsch to the class's mild amusement. I think he's happy to be alive, but he's, looking for a reason why, said Heidi. Like, why did some people live and others die? He doesn't want to accept that it's just random, so it's got to be like the hand of God or something. Mr. Hirsch gave a nod. Good answer, apparently. He survived, said Mr. Hirsch. Ergo, he deserved to survive. Exactly, said Heidi, relieved she'd been able to pull something out of thin air. Mr. Hirsch pressed on. Well, it may have seemed random at the time, but it wasn't. We know now that Yersinia pestis, the bacteria that causes bubonic plague, is carried by fleas, specifically fleas that live on rats. So who do we think would have been hit hardest by the Great Plague of London? People with rats in their house? Asked Katie Lackey. Sure, said Mr. Hirsch. And who would that have been? Again, no hands. Mr. Hirsch's eyes narrowed as he saw Luca Spiro turn a full 180 degrees in his desk, whispering something to Peter Kavanagh. Luca, said Mr. Hirsch. Luca slowly turned back around, as though the maitre d' at a fancy restaurant had just told him his table was ready. The boy brimmed with adolescent confidence that comes from being 18 years old, naturally handsome and born rich. What's that? Said Luca. Oh, who's got rats in their house? I'm gonna say Goth Steve. The entire class burst out laughing. Steve Hale, the misfit who was the butt of Luca's joke, glared. Fuck you, he said through clenched teeth. That's sweet, Steve. I'm actually spoken for. Luca nodded in Heidi's direction. Even though it was a punchline, Heidi felt a flutter in her stomach as their relationship was publicly acknowledged. All right, enough, said Mr. Hirsch, whose feeble efforts to restore order were shattered by the ringing of the final bell. Instantly, the class was on their feet and jostling for the door. It was the usual pandemonium in the halls, as the collective student body of Green Valley High School made their way toward the exits. The sound of a few hundred simultaneous conversations rose to the level of a dull roar. Heidi shook her head as she watched a group of boys take turns trying to jump and touch the lunar cycle countdown clock. 5 hours, 47 minutes, 29 seconds to moonrise. Mounted near the ceiling. What were they trying to prove exactly? Out of the corner of her eye, she saw a 10th grader get pantsed by one of his friends. Idiots. Oh my God, Heidi, such a cute skirt. Marcy Love, another senior girl, locked arms with Heidi as they walked. My mom has one just like it. Marcy was pretty and popular too. She was 2 inches taller than Heidi, and her hair was incredible. Heidi hated her, and she was 99% sure that Marcy hated her back. But neither girl had ever said a provably unkind word to the other. Mutual loathing was expressed in backhanded compliments. Heidi returned an even brighter smile. I love that for your mom. Maybe she'll finally land another husband. I mean, stranger things have happened, right? Marcy ignored the jab and regarded Heidi's skirt once more. I don't think it's too short at all, she said, somehow subtly implying she might be the only one who held that belief. Okay, gotta run, girl. Really looking forward to Saturday. Ciao. Marcy blew Heidi air kisses and broke off in a different direction. Heidi blew her a kiss back. Ciao, bitch, she said under her breath. Heidi! Heidi turned to see Olivia Zaman Parr, her best friend since the 3rd grade, nudging her way through the crowd to catch up. I got into Kenyon, said Olivia. Oh my God, that's awesome, said Heidi. Kenyon was ranked 30th in national liberal arts colleges. Is it? Asked Olivia. Kenyon's in Gambier, Ohio. I looked on Wikipedia and it says the town's only got 2,391 people. Could I honestly spend 4 years in Gambier, Ohio? You spent 4 years in this place, said Heidi, nodding toward the still pantsless 10th grader who was now trying to do a handstand to make his buddies laugh. You'll be fine wherever you end up. Easy for you to say, said Olivia. You'll be at Harvard with your boyfriend. Do not jinx it, said Heidi. This was what she was supposed to say. You know I haven't gotten in yet. Please, said Olivia. You're salutatorian, all-state cross-country, French club president, 1580 on your SATs. You know you're getting in. Heidi shrugged and didn't smile. She wanted to be humble, but maybe she did know she was getting in. Ladies, my ears are burning, Lucas said as he caught up to them. Olivia rolled her eyes. Somebody says Harvard and you appear like Candyman. Luca ignored Olivia and gave Heidi a wet kiss on the mouth. You get your letter yet, babe? Asked Luca. Not yet, said Heidi. Should have done early decision like I did, said Luca. Should have had an uncle who donated a new library like Luca did, Olivia said. Olivia, come on, said Heidi. Luca gave her an exaggerated smile. You're super funny, dude. You'll be fine, like the funniest person at community college. Fuck you, said Olivia. I got into McAllister, Colby, and Kenyon. Numbers 27, 19, and 30, respectively, thought Heidi. Wow, those are all great schools, said Luca. He slapped the custodian, Mr. Santangelo, on the back as they walked past him. Watch out, Mr. Santangelo. Olivia's coming for your job. Mr. Santangelo stared at Luca and said nothing. You're such a fucking dick, said Olivia. Oh my God, be nice, said Heidi. Luca threw an arm around Heidi's waist. You know what, Olivia? Maybe you could actually work for Heidi. Every doctor's office needs somebody to, clean up the used syringes and crusty Band-Aids. Olivia was taken aback. Doctor's office? What is he talking about? Heidi shrugged. She didn't want to get into it. I thought you wanted to major in art history, said Olivia. I don't know, said Heidi. I've been thinking about it, and the world needs doctors more than ever right now. Who else is going to find the cure? It sounded right. You couldn't really argue with it. And more importantly, said Luca, doctors are rich as fuck. There it is, said Olivia. Pressure her into something she doesn't want. Who says I don't want it? Protested Heidi. She did want it, right? Olivia pressed on. Will you focus on your quote-unquote rap career? Luca darkened. I've got flow, Olivia. I don't expect a little white girl from the suburbs to understand what that means.